Shut up and sit down.
Essay on Human Rights. Human Rights Essay for Students and Children in English. Human rights developed as a concept after the conclusion of the Second World War. This was because the prisoners of war were tortured by the countries which took them. There were no diplomatic arrangements that ensured the safety and security of the prisoner of war. There were agreements between countries on aspects of the treatment of prisoners, but seldom did anyone respect them. Eleanor, Eleanor Roosevelt is usually credited for the incorporation of human rights into the Charter of the United Nations. She was not only an advocate of human rights but also someone who supported the essential universal freedom of humans. She was the wife of then US President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Human rights constitute the necessary rights to which every individual is entitled. Although most countries have a constitution incorporating articles on fundamental rights and freedoms, human rights is an important issue. They are necessary because many countries do not adhere to them. There have been numerous examples of human rights violation across the entire world. The most recent case of the deportation and displacement of Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar is an example of a breach of human rights. This is because Myanmar did not provide these people with the essential means of subsistence, food, clothing, and shelter. Along with that, they refused to acknowledge that the Rohingya people were citizens of Myanmar. This resulted in widespread criticism across the entire world. Many countries filed lawsuits against Myanmar at the International Court of Justice in Hague. There are often reports of human rights violation from countries across the world. Such complaints includes the torture of prisoners and the mistreatment of their people in various ways. Torture is the most criticized and widely recognized form of human rights violation. Previously, even the first world countries of today resorted to torture for their gratification. This included the building of various torture devices across the history of such nations. Such torture devices were usually implemented as punishments. Today, the use of such devices is banned. Coercion is something that also accounts for violation of human rights. This is often true in the case of law enforcement officials pressurizing people to confess to things if they are accused of it. This happens even before the prosecution begins and is a punishable offense under the law if proved. One might wonder what the definition of human rights is if there are so many aspects to it. There are several definitions, each of which highlights an important point. However, what we should consider is that human rights are multidimensional and includes a lot of things. There is no such method of designating or classifying rights under the category. For the sake of simplicity, the two crucial aspects of human rights are that they are fundamental rights and they are universal. Apart from these two features, there are many which differ from country to country. The Geneva Convention on Human Rights highlights what constitutes human rights and how they are to be taken care of by the member states.